George Clooney has Sandra Bullock in space alone for an hour and a half and doesn't have sex with her? Pushing the boundaries already.
This is my review of Gravity.
So to really quickly address the elephant in the room, I'm streamlining the format of my videos a little bit because, as you guys probably know, I haven't made a terrible amount of them this year because the green screen just has a whole host of production problems, and I really want to start shooting these videos out a lot quicker, and I don't have a terrible amount of time to make them. But hopefully that just means a whole ton of more content for you guys. So with that said, let's talk about Gravity. So Gravity centers on two scientists, Matt Kowalski, played by George Clooney, and Ryan Stone, played by Sandra Bullock. They're out in space, working on their space station, doing their astronaut thing, when all of a sudden a Russian missile hits the Earth and the debris from it goes into space and basically destroys the space station, setting Sandra Bullock adrift out into space, and the rest of the movie is pretty much the both of them trying to survive in this highly dangerous environment. Now, I've been looking forward to this film for years. I was really devastated when it was delayed. I love Alfonso Cuarón, particularly Children of Men. That movie is just a cinematographer's wet dream. That one-shot sequence where Clive Owen's running through the war-torn city, oh, beautiful. So this movie just really had a whole ton of potential for me, for Alfonso Cuarón to really stretch his muscles with a big budget film while kind of retaining his brilliant sense of cinematography and pacing as a director. But every so often, even the greats have a disappointment, and unfortunately, I have to say I wasn't terribly impressed with Gravity, but I didn't hate it by any means. In fact, there's a great deal to like about it. The visual effects in this movie, top to bottom, left to right, and every direction in between, are stunning, unbelievable. This is one of the most visually appealing movies I've ever seen in my life. The shots, oh my goodness, these 11-minute, 12-minute, 18-minute takes where Cuarón's just panning around the spaceships, observing the destruction, following the characters instead of constantly cutting around them like you see in so many action sequences today. It's just beautiful looking, and you get such a sense of the visceral danger, the atmosphere, so to speak, and literally, and just the situation these characters in just pops so much because of Cuarón's just unbelievable visual direction. But where this movie starts to fall flat, at least for me, is in the storytelling. Now, while I thought Bullock and Clooney both gave really great performances in the film, I found the characters and the writing to be really rather bland. Clooney's just playing his typical arrogant, cocky, charming, smooth, womanizer guy, and Bullock is playing a character who, I understand why they went this direction with her. Basically, she's a very damaged, very afraid woman who was kind of thrown into this mission and because of her intelligence, and now she has to become a survivor. And I can see how, in concept, it was fun to watch her develop into a survivor, but the problem is the film never really believably transforms her into a strong character. It kind of always leaves her in this kind of weak place, so when she's surviving, it's not really entirely believable. And when you find out her backstory and the way they execute certain scenes with her, they're just so cheesy and just so kind of over the top that it just doesn't work with the intense tone that the rest of the film is going for. There are certain scenes in this movie that are so melodramatic that you think it's one of those scenes that Oscar movie parodies are gonna make fun of just because they're at that level so much to where it just kind of comes off a little bit over the top. And because of that bland writing, even when all these amazing visual effects are going on and these really good performances in this incredible direction, it really ultimately doesn't mean that much because you can't exactly attach yourself to the characters as much as you'd like. Overall, I think Gravity is just a technical masterpiece, no doubt about it. Alfonso Cuarón is still one of my favorite directors. This movie by no means tarnishes his name. He is a brilliant filmmaker, but I just think that the writing in this film and the way that the characters were executed were just not up to par with how strong the visuals were, and I really wish that this was just a more well-rounded story where we really got to see a character who really captivated us, and in the end, we just kind of got a video game. A very pretty video game, but a video game nevertheless. I give Gravity 2.5 stars out of 4. That's my review of Gravity. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I'm Michael Fairbanks. See you later.